All right, I need help right now. I have a big show. I need a co-host on either side of me. I know where I'm going. We're here. Come with me. Hey Pittsburgh, how you doing? Josh Miller here. Welcome to another episode of A Day in a Life. We're on location because we're doing a big home run tour. This is where we take all our shows, wrap it in together, and give you a best of. I'm hanging out with Cody, nicknamed the Iron Man, and I'm hanging out with Kara, who we don't have a nickname yet, but we will. And we're hanging out where, guys? 1, 2, 3.
Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh
at UPMC. Perfect, dynamite. That worked out well for me. Enjoy yourself. Sit back and enjoy another episode of A Day in a Life.
Hi, this is Dave Hansen.
I'm Stan Sabrin. This is Kelvin Beecham.
I'm Dick Grote.
I'm Sean Casey. Stay tuned for A Day in My Life.
Okay, first episode takes place with a gentleman, the actor's name I forgot, and I can't for the life of me. Any ideas?
I think it's Dave Hansen.
It is Dave Hansen. Thank you very much. It is Dave Hansen. Talking about Paul Newman. Believe it or not, he got starstruck this time. Check out what happens.
Well, the first time I met Paul was actually during a pregame nap. Typical athletes were having a pregame nap, and I'm getting a knock on the door, and I'm pissed off because I could get out of bed, and I get out of bed and open the door, stand in my shorts, and there's this guy that looks just like Paul Newman, except being 6'4". He's like 5'8", you know.
Right.
And he looks at me, and I look at him, and he puts his hand, and he says, "Dave," he says, "Yeah." He says, "I'm Paul Newman." I said, "Oh, yeah, I guess you are, you know." And I said, "What do you want?" You know, and he says, "Well, I hope you don't mind. Looks like I woke you up, but I'd like to come in. I got some guys to look at your apartment and want to see what a hockey player's apartment looks like and so forth." And I said, "Yeah, come on in." I said, "I don't mind at all, as long as I can go back to bed." And he says, "No, go ahead." And he says, "You got any beer in the fridge?" I said, "Yeah, you know, in the kitchen." He says, "You mind if I grab them?" I said, "No, grab all you want." He says, "Well, I want to go in and sit down and watch the race while these guys are..."
He's a big beer guy.
Yeah, big beer guy, big racing guy at the time. And so that was the first time I met Paul. So he was, right off the blocks, very nice guy. And then when we started filming, just a regular guy. You wouldn't have known that he was, the superstar, the marquee guy of the film, because he'd come in, t-shirts, jeans, loafers, carrying his iced coffee in the morning, and then we would take a little break. He'd pull us into his trailer outside and sit and chat and talk funny stuff, and just had a great time with him. Just an incredible guy.
All right, so the next one we're doing, this was kind of cool because they don't allow cameras at pit practice. They forbid it. No one's ever been back there, so they allowed us. So this episode's with Jamie Dixon, and I'm telling you, do you know what he is? He's the head basketball coach, Cody, at the University of Pittsburgh. Been there forever. Nice guy. I think you'll enjoy this one.
And I remember St. Anthony's came to our high school. Luther Wright, it was like Terry DeHare, the Hurley brothers, and there was another one, maybe like Skywalker. They broke our rim at halftime and left. They kept the bus running. It was awesome. That was my experience.
Well, we're in the back gym, so I'm going to head up there.
Cool.
You guys going to come in there?
Absolutely.
Next episode is with Susie McConnell-Serio. Great gal, one of the best coaches on Pitt's campus. No doubt about that. Are you a fan of women's hoops? So-so? Well, you're going to enjoy this one. She is dynamite and a great, great leader.
Pittsburgh's just an unbelievable place. And I have been a part of some rebuilding programs, but I've been very fortunate to work for some great people. I've been very fortunate to work with great coaches, and the players that I've had the opportunity to coach have bought in to what we were trying to do. And if you've coached the game, if you've played the game, and what I always say is there's no magic in the game. What we can do is nothing magical I can do or say to make a team better, to have your team play better, to develop that chemistry. It's all about the coaching staff. It's about the people that you're with. And I've been very fortunate over my career, of who I've ever played for, from back in elementary school, playing for Dan Kale, who was all about fundamentals and learning the basics of the game, to playing in high school and college and all of the Olympic teams and USA teams, and then going into WNBA. And what I've tried to do is formulate my own style, but I've learned from so many great coaches. And it could be offenses, defenses, concepts, out of bounds plays, drills in practice, just the entire game of putting all of that together. And then, just being prepared. When I go into a game, when our team goes into a game, it's all about being prepared. It's watching film. It's having your players understand what we're trying to do offensively, defensively, with each opponent that we play. And a lot of time and effort goes into it. And once your players understand what it takes to be successful, it's made a true difference.
You're watching A Day in the Life with Josh Miller. We'll be right back. A Day in the Life is brought to you by UPMC, life-changing medicine. Nakama Japanese Steakhouse. You've tried the rest, now try the best. Rivertown Brewing, delivering you the most enjoyable craft beer experience. Athlete Originals, original apparel designs by athletes for their fans. We'll be right back.
You got to be a little off anyway, I think, to be a catcher. Got hit with a couple foul balls to the head and didn't really think anything of it. Felt a little foggy, couldn't eat. The anger came really quick. When I'd go to swing, the ball would kind of disappear. My wife said, if you don't tell the doctors, I'm going to. They sent me to UPMC. He looked at me and said, you got a pretty good concussion. Gave me a plan, like a rehab for your brain, just to come from that to catch the last out of the series. I didn't choose to get those concussions, but I did choose UPMC.
Welcome back to A Day in the Life with Josh Miller.
All right, Cody, you're going to like this one. So, your nickname is what?
Iron Man.
Iron Man. You're a shortstop.
Shortstop.
All right, so you're definitely going to like this one. We talked with Bob. We talked with Bob Nutting and Neil Huntington. That's the owner and GM of the Pirates. Opening day. Whoa is right. Check this out.
Hi, Mr. Nutting. Let's talk about the fan. Are you, as a baseball fan, as a Pirate fan, how exciting is this for you to see?
Oh, it's been an unbelievable ride overall to see the team come from where we've been to where it is today. But opening day, on a day like this, to be able to share it with the fans who are waiting outside to come rolling in, this is what it's all about. It just couldn't be more fun, couldn't be more exciting, couldn't be more pleased.
And it's funny because I'm talking to other guys about financially putting money back into the team. You were just talking to Josh Harrison right there. Obviously, someone who, when I'm at home, I'm on the couch, or if I'm here, I'm telling my son, if you're going to play like anybody, play like that, because it could be the 90th game, first game, or a playoff game. He's going to play the same exact way.
No, I mean, Josh is a remarkable player. When you look at the energy that he brought wherever he was playing, if you look at, as Clint was moving him around the various positions, he brought the same energy, the same excitement, the same intensity, whether it was in a rundown or whether it was a defensive play or whether it's an at-bat. And to be able to reward that, that's what baseball's all about. That's the excitement. That's the role model for the kids, but it's also what fills these seats up with the level of enthusiasm and excitement we're going to see.
And I want to talk about this because back when I was alive, I used to play, and I used to always think players won games until I had a good coach. And then I realized, wow, coaching has a lot to do with it. You brought Clint Hurdle in here. just his enthusiasm, the way he treated the players, the way the players show up, because sometimes during the course of traveling, hotels, it's tough to show up to the ballpark and give it everything you have because you might be tired. He seems to bring the most out of people here.
Yeah, well, first, players do win games. So
They do. There's no doubt.
We'll make sure we have it.
Right.
But no, Clint makes every one of us better every day. The level of leadership, and he's a real student of leadership, and maybe more importantly, he really deeply cares. Cares about the organization, he cares about the fans, but he cares individually about these players. He wants to see them achieve their maximum potential, and so if he can find ways to help move someone along, to help encourage, to help push forward, I think that's the magic that Clint brings, and he brings that every single day, inside and outside of the clubhouse.
Well, we're spending time here with Neil Huntington, general manager of the Pirates. And when you go to opening day, when you look around right now, where it was a handful of years ago to where it is now, do you have time to take a deep breath and say, you know what? Okay, we're on course.
That's the big thing, is we do try to recognize the small victories along the way, because we still have a lot of work to do. And if we only ever focused on we're not done yet, we drive ourselves crazy. So we do take an opportunity to recognize where we've come from, but we also recognize where we have to go.
And when you assemble a team on paper, do you look at it and say, you know what? I don't want to jinx anything, but we should be in pretty good shape.
I've caught myself a handful of times this year talking about this is the most talented, the deepest, and the most versatile, and then I hesitate because we've won 94 games, we've won 88 games, we've been in the postseason twice. On paper, this should be our best club, but on paper, it doesn't always get you to the postseason. We still have to go execute. We still have to have a good year as a front office, our coaching staff, our player development group, and most importantly, our players.
All right, next episode coming up that I think you're going to like is opening day with the Pirates. It was awesome. We met with Pirate Brass all the way top to bottom, Frank Coonley and the boys, and there was a guy from The Voice, and the name escapes me. For the life of me, I can't remember. Anybody know?
Chris Jamison.
That's right. It was Chris Jameson. Sit back and enjoy this one. This was a fun one. Today I'm hanging out with Frank Coonley right now, and I'm telling you, it's opening day. We've seen everybody else from top to bottom. We haven't met the man that makes all this happen, Frank Coonley. Thank you so much for joining us on A Day in the Life. So this is opening day, but somewhere deep down, you've seen a lot. You've seen the growth of this place. It's almost as if you found a business. You said, you know what, I can make that pretty good, and you dove into it. And now, was this the vision? Is this what you had in mind?
The vision is PNC Park packed day in and day out. It's opening day, so it's always packed, but what I really love is that tomorrow is going to be packed as well, and the next day is going to be packed. And seeing baseball revitalized in Pittsburgh was always the vision. And we really had to build a culture first before we could implement a plan, have a plan, stick by it through some tough times, and there were some, and we all have the scars to prove that. But it was really a focus that was singular, bring baseball back to Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh had such great baseball history, tradition, and such great baseball fans. So there's nothing like opening day. It's a rebirth, it's a new season, it's a new beginning. And as we begin this 2015 season, we're looking for a very special season here in Pittsburgh.
You know, it's amazing. Your team has grown the last couple of years from getting off to a great start and then not finishing, but you know what? You've shown the progress, baby steps, if you will. And then last 2 years, you made the playoffs, expectations higher, but also the stadium's kept up par as well. I'm standing in a place right now. Please tell me about this one. You got one in left center as well. All new things for people to check out.
Well, this is really cool. I mean, I love this space. It's called the Porch. It's a group area that holds 25 people, and you're literally sitting at the north side notch. I mean, you're overlooking the north side notch. You're right in the game. We've got some soft seating. It's like you're on your back porch or your back patio, but yet you're in PNC Park with one of the best views of PNC Park. So terrific space. Over to our left over here is the terraces, the Hall of Fame Club terraces, which one of the areas where I didn't think PNC Park was perfect, and it may be the only one, was there was no connection between the upper left field bleachers and the Hall of Fame Club, which is an all ticketed fan venue. Before games, during games, after games. Great space, but a lot of people had a hard time finding it. Well, now we've opened it up to the left field bleachers by putting in 2 standing room only terraces there, and the view from those terraces is spectacular. Again, maybe second to none in the ballpark. So I think fans with any ticket can stay there, standing room only as well. I think it's going to become a very popular place.
All right, hanging out here at A Day in Life with Chris Jamerson. Dude, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Happy to be here. Excited to sing the anthem.
Now, are you Your feet on the ground, you're back. It was a whirlwind you went through with the voice. Congratulations on all your success there. And now you're back here. You're wearing a Pirates jersey. You can sing the national anthem.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. I'm happy to be home. I've been home back and forth a lot, back and forth from here to LA, and it's great to come to this game. You know, I've never sang the anthem here at PNC Park before, let alone for home opener. So it's going to be an incredible experience. But I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Let me ask you a question now. Obviously, you know, everything you've been through, did you see that happening? Did you see that? I mean, were you able to maybe say, you know what, if I do well here, I'll go to where I am now? Or was this kind of just a whirlwind?
I never expected any of it. I thought that mentality would be better to kind of go through, because it's a crazy experience to begin with. So I didn't want to get my hopes up. I just kind of took each step as it came, and it ended up going a lot farther than I ever expected.
Now, I know this may sound like a softball question, but I think it's very important. If you're able to speak to every little kid sitting home, little girl and boy, and you had their ears for 15 seconds, what would you tell them about going for your dream?
I would just say to keep trying, and if you're a singer, sing literally everywhere you can. That's what I did. I would sing at birthday parties, I'd sing at before concerts, I'd sing at bars and restaurants, literally anywhere I could just grab a mic, I'd just start singing, because you never know who will be in the audience and what opportunity you'll get.
That's awesome. Chris Jamerson, thanks so much for your time. All the best to you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're watching A Day in the Life with Josh Miller. We'll be right back. A Day in the Life is brought to you by UPMC, life-changing medicine. Nakama Japanese Steakhouse. You've tried the rest. Now try the best. Rivertown Brewing, delivering you the most enjoyable craft beer experience. Athlete Originals, original apparel designs by athletes for their fans. We'll be right back.
Wrecking's part of our sport. Crashing and hitting things is just going to happen to you. The first time that I got injured, I tried to hide it. I tried to push through. 4 weeks later, I've been injured again, back to back. The best decision I made was to go to UPMC. We went through all these activities that had results that made sense, and things got better.
Holy cow, man, we just won the 500.
I didn't choose to be in a 25-car pileup, but I did choose UPMC.
Welcome back to A Day in the Life with Josh Miller.
This next episode that we're doing is about a living legend that's in Pittsburgh, and he still goes at it today. Do you know his name?
Stan Savard.
That's exactly right. Stan Savard, one of the good guys in the game. Listen to this one. Very cool. Talks about his time with Terry Bradshaw. Very cool.
And you're the best. You're probably the best at being able to, because not everybody can say something negative about a team, but there's a way to say something negative about a team. Instead of saying this guy's a bum, which a lot of people around there and where a lot of people like to do that, you can say, you know what, I bet you he's aware of his situation, or I bet you he would like to do better, and look what he's done in the past. He's not living up to what he should be doing. There's a way to say it. You make it so easy, and you get the same thing across, and it's a hard thing to do. I work with people even today that feel that a dagger is needed as opposed to just getting the point across. It's an art.
Well, you don't have to make it personal. Listen, I've covered a lot of great players in this town.
Right.
And I remember two guys in particular, and there have been a lot of them that way, but two guys in particular, it was, I don't know, 77, I think it was. I'm not sure of the year, 78, whatever it was. And Bradshaw threw 5 interceptions in a game in Baltimore when they were still the Colts. And naturally they lost, and he was awful. And the next morning, what are you supposed to say? 5 picks.
You can't bow tie that.
Right. You know, hey, at that point, he'd already won 2 Super Bowls. But
right.
So the next day, Chuck had them off on Mondays, not Tuesdays like it is now. And so the next available day, I was in the locker room. And that's one of the things, frankly, that modern guys don't do. They sit in the studio, and they never leave it. And facing the music is, at least, that's part of the gig. If you're willing to say it, you better be willing to answer for it.
Correct.
So I'm in the Steeler locker room at Three Rivers, and here comes 12. And he comes up to me, and I had a really good relationship with him. And he said, I heard what you said this morning. And I go, oh, to myself, here it comes. He said, you were right. He said, I stunk. And he said, you've always been fair. As long as you're fair, I have no problems. And Rocky Blyer said that to me once, too. And so, I mean, those are the adults in the room.
This next episode is pretty cool. It's about the Miracle League and Sean Casey. Are you familiar with the Miracle League?
Yes.
How's that?
Good.
Because you played there, huh?
Yes.
And you're a shortstop.
Yes.
And they call him Iron Man.
Yes.
Very cool. Sit back, enjoy.
Back when I was in college, I got drafted after my junior year. I came back my senior year, didn't have really, I had extra time because I didn't have baseball the way I had it before. And then my sister had volunteered with some cerebral palsy kids, and I was looking to volunteer somewhere. She's like, why don't you try and find some kids with cerebral palsy? I was like, okay, great. Well, there was a school down in Richmond, Virginia with kids with cerebral palsy. It was about 20 minutes from campus. So I used to go volunteer there like twice a week with these kids. And I think when you first go volunteer, you think, oh man, I'm gonna make a difference and this and that. These kids impacted my life more than they would ever know. Like, I started to realize, man, these kids with disabilities, not really, if you wanna call it disability, these kids were normal kids that were stuck down in their bodies with the mind that worked. And that's when I started to realize, man, these kids are awesome.
Right.
Wow, and then I so enjoyed going to see them a couple times a week, and that really opened my mind. It opened my mind to the special needs community. That, man, it's just, we don't understand. I think, at least I didn't understand. I didn't understand that these kids are just like any other kids, and they're at school and they're learning and they're playing and they just want to be kids.
And this is something they look forward to. Can you imagine a little kid? They're told, hey, Thursday you're going to go to something like this to be able to play ball.
Yeah, isn't that great? Well, so the next thing was like my sister-in-law's special needs. So it kind of all came together.
Yeah.
And then when I was with the Reds, a friend of mine opened one up, and I was like, wow, there's a Miracle League field where kids can come and play, and that's when it first kind of hit me. So then when I was done playing, my wife and I decided to go out and try and raise some money. And I am so grateful because I'd never raised $1 in my life, and this whole project cost a lot of money.
Right.
And so grateful to all the companies in Pittsburgh, to all the students in Pittsburgh, all the different schools. Every dollar has mattered to like build this Miracle League field and to build this playground, which has been amazing. So for me, being a Pittsburgher and like having the backdrop of Pittsburgh and it being a Pittsburgh thing, like that's what brings me a ton of pride because all this money was raised locally. All this money was raised by people seeing the same vision I did. That like this is really a big deal, and this is really a good thing for our community. I think anything you do that brings community together is a great thing, and that's what this field has done.
This next episode's awesome because a lot of people say, the Steelers don't do anything, they don't give back to the community or athletes today. Well, this one, I got proof that this guy is an awesome, awesome guy. We're doing Kelvin Beachum, and you know who he is?
He's a big fellow that played for the Steelers with a very big heart.
That's right. You'll see him when he goes to schools, talking to the kids and working with the food bank. Enjoy this episode, one of my favorites as well.
All right, here we go. That I like my workload of crocodiles, trees, dinosaurs, and frogs. I have no trouble.
So Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank provides food in 11 counties in southwestern Pennsylvania. Our mission is to feed people in need and mobilize the community to eliminate hunger. And we do that through a network of food pantries and smaller food banks in the rural communities. And we have an amazing group of volunteers and dedicated supporters that help us carry out our mission each and every day. And you can see an example of that today with the group of students, and Kelvin, who's here with us today, really cannot do our work and carry out our mission without his support and the support of thousands of volunteers who work with us every month.
This next episode is Dick Groat. Dick Groat was doing stuff before it was even cool to do it. He was an all-star baseball player, all-star basketball player, and to talk about a legend, we're going to bring a legend to talk about him, Billy Hillgrove. Awesome guy. And do you know what he does? Broadcasting. Thank you very much. Enjoy, sit back, and check this one out.
Every game I do, I pinch myself because I'm sitting next to my boyhood hero. I used to remember watching him at Forbes Field. That's before I knew how good a basketball player he was, and I have since found out that he was not only good or very good, he was great. and he brings that knowledge to every broadcast, and we thank him every day for it.
We saved the best for last. We're talking about Dick Grote, and we're talking about Champions Lakes. That's his golf course. And he hung out with Arnold Palmer, who shot one of the legendary rounds over there. He shot a 68. And he was also a shortstop like yourself.
Yep.
Sit back, enjoy this episode with Dick Grote at Champion Lakes.
Amazing how the game has changed. That par 5 guys play that with, now we're driving 8-iron, driving 7-iron, driving as a par 5. When Arnold set the record here, and Jerry and I walked with him, he hit drive, 3-wood, an iron.
No kidding.
That was back in 1968. The difference in the equipment and balls, because he was fast gun then. This is the other kart pass is going to be completely redone.
The course is immaculate.
Thank you.
My God. Well, Pittsburgh, that's it. We're done. Season 2 is in the books. I want to thank Cody, also known as Iron Man. Thank you. And Kara, thank you so much. I don't have a nickname. You just have to settle for beautiful. I appreciate your time. Thank you for letting us come here. The people here at UPMC are doing great, great things. Season 3 is around the corner. Enjoy it in the fall. Again, many thanks. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Pittsburgh, Josh Miller here. And yes, that's another season of A Day in the Life. It's in the books. I want to thank Root Sports for allowing us, giving us a place to showcase this show. I want to thank the good people here at Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh, of UPMC, for allowing us to kind of do the finale show here and believing in us all year long. I also want to thank Bruce. I want to thank Gummy Bear for doing all the cutting and slicing and editing, and my partner, Dominic Mantallo, who's behind the scenes all the time. Stay tuned for Season 3. It's around the corner, coming this fall.